Imagine what a home means to you. A warm bed, running water, a front door that shuts out the world. But for many people across this planet, a home looks nothing like that. Some are perched on the edge of cliffs, where one wrong step could send you into the abyss. Others float on polluted waters, built from scraps and survival. There are towns so isolated, the only road in disappears for half the year, and cities where an entire population lives inside a single building. These aren't scenes from a sci-fi movie or dystopian novel. They're real, and people live there, thrive there. In this documentary, we'll journey through the most unbelievable places people call home, places that challenge everything we think we know about comfort, safety, even survival. But more than that, they reveal something extraordinary, the resilience of the human spirit. This is not just about strange houses. It's about how far people will go to survive, to stay, and to live with dignity in the most unforgiving corners of the earth. Welcome to Houses You Won't Believe People Actually Live In. Makoko, the floating slum of Africa. We all know Venice, the city of romance, gondolas gliding through serene canals, and historic charm at every turn. But thousands of miles away, on the coast of Nigeria, lies its lesser-known, forgotten cousin, Makoko, the Venice of Africa. Except here, there's no romance, only resilience. Makoko began over a century ago as a humble fishing village. Today, it's a sprawling slum, home to more than 200,000 people living in makeshift wooden shacks perched on stilts over polluted waters. The air is heavy with humidity and the scent of smoke and diesel. There's no proper sewage system, no clean running water, no healthcare centers. Schools? Scarce. Electricity? Unreliable. And yet, people survive here, raise children here, build entire lives surrounded by water and hardship. Fishing used to be the community's heartbeat, but as pollution chokes the lagoon and motorboats speed past, even that tradition is fading. Still, families paddle through narrow canals in dugout canoes, navigating a world most of us could never imagine calling home. Aid organizations try to help. Some bring education, others bring hope. But the truth is, living in Makoko is a daily test of survival, one that doesn't let up. And yet, there's laughter, community, music echoing over the water. Somehow life persists, because sometimes what makes a home isn't walls or wires, it's willpower. La Rinconada, life at the top of the world. What happens when chasing a dream takes you higher than any human should live? Welcome to La Rinconada, Peru, the highest permanent human settlement on Earth. Perched more than 16,700 feet above sea level, this mountaintop town is buried deep in the Andes, wrapped in snow, ice, and thin air. The oxygen is so scarce here, just walking can feel like climbing a mountain. But over 30,000 people call this place home. Why? Gold. La Rinconada is built on the promise of fortune, a promise buried deep beneath frozen ground and perilous tunnels. There's no plumbing, no reliable electricity, streets are unpaved, and piles of garbage cling to the icy landscape. The cold bites through your bones, and the sun offers no comfort. Yet people come here from all over Peru, desperate for change, for money, for a way out of poverty. They dig, they sift, they wait. Most never strike it rich. Many get sick from mercury exposure and dangerous working conditions. But hope, irrational, burning hope, keeps them going. La Rinconada is not just a city, it's a living paradox. A place where the air is thin, but dreams run deep. And every day, thousands wake up here, betting it all on a future just beneath their feet. Beneath the bridge, life below Manila's highways. Next time you drive across a highway overpass, pause for a moment. Beneath the roaring traffic, beneath the concrete and steel, lives an entire community. In Manila, Philippines, thousands of people live under bridges, not just passing through, but truly living there. Cramped shelters made from scrap metal and plywood hug the underside of overpasses. The smell of engine fumes fills the air. The thunder of traffic above never stops, day or night. There is no clean water, no toilets, no electricity, except from makeshift wires strung dangerously close to puddles. In the rainy season, everything floods. When accidents happen up top, it's the families below who suffer most. Yet somehow, children still play. Families cook over open flames. Life continues, not because it's easy, but because there is no other choice. Education? Out of reach for most. Healthcare? A distant dream. But hope? That flickers like candlelight inside every shelter. These are not just stories of poverty. They are stories of endurance, of mothers who sing lullabies louder than the traffic, of fathers who patch roofs before the next storm hits, and of communities that survive in the shadows, while the world speeds by overhead. Yanjin, the skinniest city on Earth. Cities are supposed to spread out, wide roads, towering skylines, room to breathe. But in Yanjin, China, everything runs thin. Tucked between steep mountains and the narrow curves of the Nanxi River, Yanjin is often called the narrowest city in the world. At its slimmest point, the entire city is barely 30 feet wide, just enough for a street, a sidewalk, and a ribbon of buildings stacked tightly together. And yet, somehow, more than 400,000 people live here. There's no space for sprawling neighborhoods, no wide boulevards or fancy shopping malls. Instead, life flows in a long, slender line, stretched out over 37 miles of riverbank. Balconies lean over the water. Bicycles weave between delivery carts and children playing in alleys no wider than a hallway. Space is a luxury, but creativity? That's endless. People have learned to build up instead of out. Apartments rise like dominoes on edge. Rooftop gardens bloom above noodle shops. Everything is efficient, compact, and alive. There's beauty in this narrowness. The air feels cleaner. Traffic is minimal. And everywhere you look, there's movement. Small but constant. Yanjin is a reminder, even in the tightest spaces, life finds a way to expand. The nail houses of China, when home refuses to move in. The race to modernize, cities often grow like wild vines, pushing through everything in their path. But in China, some families said, "Not so fast." These are called nail houses, like a stubborn nail that refuses to be pulled from wood. When authorities plan new highways or skyscrapers, they usually offer compensation to residents to move. Most accept, but a few refuse. And so development doesn't stop. It simply bends around them. The result? Homes stranded in the middle of freeways. Tiny apartment buildings encircled by on-ramps. Imagine waking up every morning to 6 lanes of traffic swirling around your front door. The ground shakes. The air reeks of gasoline. There's no quiet, no breeze, just noise, smog, and stubborn silence. Some can't even open their windows anymore. Others have no way to safely exit except through the chaos. But still, they stay. For some, it's about pride. For others, it's history, the only home they've ever known. These nail houses may look out of place in a sea of concrete and steel, but they stand for something powerful. The right to say no, to resist the machinery of progress, and to remind us that a home is more than just a building. It's a boundary between what can be bought and what can't. Station H6, a floating outpost on the edge of the Earth, Antarctica. A land of endless white, no trees, no cities, just wind, ice, and silence. And somewhere out there, drifting on a moving sheet of frozen ocean, sits Station H6. This isn't just a weather station. It's a feat of human defiance, a mobile research base built directly on an unstable ice shelf, designed to move as the continent shifts beneath it. Made up of 8 massive modules, all mounted on skis, H6 can be relocated to avoid collapse as the ice melts or breaks apart. Why would anyone live here? Because the data matters. Inside, a small team of scientists battles total isolation, brutal cold, and months of darkness, all for the sake of studying climate change, weather patterns, and the invisible forces shaping our future. Temperatures plunge below -60 degrees Fahrenheit. For over 100 days straight, the sun never rises. Skin freezes in minutes. Machines stop working. Even breathing becomes a struggle. But still, they stay. Not because it's comfortable, but because it's crucial. Station H6 is more than a lab on ice. It's a symbol of resilience, curiosity, and the will to understand a world that's changing faster than we can grasp. Out here, survival is science, and every sunrise is earned. Fort Erie, life inside a frozen hell. Some places aren't just cold, they fight you. Welcome to Fort Erie, Canada, a remote town where the wind doesn't just howl, it screams. Gusts tear through the streets at 60 miles per hour, flinging snow like knives through the air. Waves from nearby waters can rise up to 23 feet, crashing like avalanches onto frozen shores. For days, sometimes weeks, you can't even see out your window. The world outside disappears behind a wall of white, and yet, people live here. They shovel snow until their arms give out. They dig out doors, cars, entire homes, only to do it again the next day. Winter isn't a season in Fort Erie, it's a way of life. Roads vanish, generators freeze, your eyelashes can frost in seconds, and when a storm hits, it feels less like weather and more like nature declaring war. But beneath all that ice is warmth, not from the sun, but from the people. In Fort Erie, neighbors look out for each other. Kids go to school in snow boots and parkas. Meals are shared, fires are lit, and through it all, one quiet truth remains. It takes more than cold to kill a community. In fact, sometimes it's the coldest places that reveal the warmest hearts. Santa Cruz del Islote, the world's densest island. Imagine living on an island so small, you could walk from one end to the other in under 2 minutes. Now imagine sharing that space with 1,200 other people. Welcome to Santa Cruz del Islote, a speck of land off the coast of Colombia, no bigger than a football field. It's the most densely populated island on Earth. There are no cars, no airport, no running water, just tightly packed homes, winding footpaths, and a rhythm of life that pulses from dawn till dusk. Families sleep shoulder to shoulder. Children play soccer in alleys barely wide enough to stretch your arms. The ocean is their playground, their pantry, and their lifeline. Electricity? Just a few hours a day. Clean water? Delivered by the Navy. Toilets? Shared among dozens. And yet, the people here wouldn't trade it for anywhere else. Why? Because here, there is no crime. No police, no strangers. Everyone knows everyone. Every door is open. Every child is everyone's child. The island began generations ago when fishermen stopped to rest and realized there were no mosquitoes, no predators, no outsiders. They stayed. Then others joined. Today, Santa Cruz is more than just overcrowded. It's overflowing with community. And in a world that often feels too big and too disconnected, this little island reminds us what closeness really means. Whittier, the entire town under one roof. What if your whole town, every neighbor, every store, every school, existed inside a single building? That's not a hypothetical. That's Whittier, Alaska. Tucked between icy mountains and the sea, this remote town is home to about 270 residents, almost all of whom live in the same 14-story structure, Baggage Towers. It's not just an apartment complex. Inside there's a school, a grocery store, a post office, church, laundry, and even a police station. If the weather's too harsh, which it often is, you don't have to step outside for days. Why live like this? Because outside, Whittier gets over 250 inches of snow per year. Winds can howl across the frozen bay, and daylight in winter disappears almost entirely. The only road in? A one-way tunnel through a mountain, open just 12 hours a day and shared with trains. So people here adapted, not by spreading out, but by pulling together. The building becomes its own world. Kids ride elevators to class. Neighbors gather in shared hallways. And behind every door is a story of isolation, survival, and connection. In a time when modern life often pushes us apart, Whittier is the opposite. Here, community isn't just a concept. It's literally the walls around you. And somehow, that makes it feel less like a fortress and more like home. The Himba, guardians of the desert in Namibia. In the blistering heart of northern Namibia, where the land cracks from heat and rivers vanish into dust, lives a community that has survived for over 2,000 years. Not by fighting nature, but by living with it. They are the Himba, semi-nomadic, fiercely proud, and utterly in tune with the desert. There's no electricity here, no running water. Their homes are made from mud, wood, and cow dung, shaped by hand beneath the sun. And their beauty is legendary. Himba women are known for their striking appearance, skin glowing red from ochize, a traditional paste made from crushed ochre and animal fat. But this isn't just about aesthetics. The mixture protects their skin from the harsh sun, repels insects, and carries with it the spirit of their ancestors. In a world rushing toward modernity, the Himba remain rooted in ritual. They tend to goats, fetch water from distant wells, cook over open flames, and tell stories under stars so bright they feel like ancient eyes. Life here is not easy. Droughts are common, resources are scarce, but community is everything. Decisions are made together, elders are honored, children are raised by the village, not just the family. The Himba remind us that survival isn't always about technology. Sometimes it's about wisdom passed down through generations and the quiet strength of living simply, intentionally, and in harmony with the earth. Sealand, the micronation that refused to sink it. Looks like a rusted oil rig, 2 concrete pillars, a metal platform, waves crashing against its legs. But this isn't an abandoned sea fort. It's the Principality of Sealand, the smallest country in the world. Sort of. Located about 7 miles off the coast of England, Sealand was originally built as a British anti-aircraft fortress during World War II. But in 1967, a former army major named Paddy Roy Bates claimed it as his own sovereign nation, complete with a flag, a constitution, passports, currency, and even a royal family. Yes, this is real. At its height, Sealand survived a coup attempt, diplomatic tensions, and even a hostage situation involving armed mercenaries. Population? Never more than a handful. Area? About 5,920 square feet, smaller than most suburban homes. And yet, it declared independence. Over the decades, Sealand became a symbol, not of territory, but of defiance, a floating experiment in sovereignty, identity, and extreme off-grid living. You can still apply for a Sealand passport, or become a lord or lady, for a fee, of course. But more than a micronation, Sealand is a reminder of something wild and oddly beautiful, that even in the middle of nowhere, on a platform battered by wind and waves, someone dared to say, "This is home, and this is mine." Cliff Village, where life clings to the mountain. High above the valleys of southwest China, Where the cliffs slice the sky like stone knives, there is a village that almost seems to defy gravity. Welcome to Cliff Village, a place that clings to the side of a mountain, nearly 2,600 feet, 800 meters, above the valley floor. From a distance, it looks like a mirage. Simple wooden homes perched on narrow ledges, barely wide enough for a footpath. For generations, the only way to reach the outside world was through a 2-hour descent down rickety wooden ladders, bolted into the face of the cliff. One misstep, and you're gone. Why live here? For many, it wasn't a choice. It was survival. Families came seeking isolation from poverty, from politics, from the chaos below. What they found was hard, but peaceful. Quiet. A place to raise children in safety, even if that safety hung, quite literally, on the edge. Life here is simple, but never easy. Food is scarce. Water is hauled from distant streams. Income is minimal. But community is everything. Children laugh. Elders pass down stories. And every sunrise brings a view most of us will only ever see in dreams. The government has since built safer stairways, but many still choose the old ladders, out of habit, out of pride, out of love for their mountain home. Cliff Village is more than a place. It's a symbol of what humans can endure, and how far we'll go, just to protect the idea of home. Edinburgh of the Seven Seas, the most remote settlement on Earth. Imagine a place so isolated that the nearest neighbor is over 1,500 miles away. No airports, no hospitals, no rush hour, just ocean. For weeks. Welcome to Edinburgh of the Seven Seas, a tiny village on Tristan da Cunha, the most remote inhabited island on the planet. It sits in the middle of the South Atlantic Ocean, halfway between South Africa and South America. But truly, it's in the middle of nowhere. Only about 250 people live here, descendants of a few shipwrecked families and hardy settlers. They survive through fishing, farming, and looking out for each other like extended kin. There are no restaurants, no malls, no cell towers. Internet is limited, and if you miss the yearly supply boat, you'll wait another year. But here's the thing, no one seems to mind. On Tristan, the world moves slowly. People grow their own food. Neighbors know your birthday, your dog's name, and the story of how your grandfather met your grandmother, in full. There's one school, one post office, and a deep sense of quiet most of us have never known. Of course, it's not easy. Medical emergencies require satellite calls and long waits. Storms isolate the island for weeks. But for those who live here, isolation isn't a punishment. It's a lifestyle. And in a world obsessed with speed, connection, and noise, Edinburgh of the Seven Seas whispers something different. Sometimes, distance brings us closer. Freedom Cove, a floating work of art. Off the misty coast of Vancouver Island, where pine forests kiss the Pacific and the fog rolls in like a dream, floats a tiny island, hand-built, hand-painted, and completely off the grid. Welcome to Freedom Cove. It's not on any map. You won't find a zip code, and you can't drive there. To reach it, you have to boat through remote Canadian waters. And when you arrive, it feels like stepping into someone's imagination. Freedom Cove is the life's work of two artists, Catherine King and Wayne Adams. Over 3 decades, they've created a floating village of 12 interconnected platforms, complete with living quarters, greenhouses, art studios, and gardens. The buildings are painted in shades of teal and magenta. Solar panels shimmer on the roof. Water is collected from a nearby waterfall. There's no internet, no fridge, no alarm clocks, just the rhythm of the tides and the rhythm of creation. They grow their own food, fish in the bay, and dance under the stars, not for the world to see, but because it brings them joy. In a society that chases more speed, more noise, more screens, they chose less noise, less pressure, more meaning. Freedom Cove isn't just a floating home. It's a message in a bottle, drifting out to the world, whispering, you don't have to live the way you're told. You can build something different, something beautiful, something entirely your own. Kandovan, the ancient village carved by fire and time. In the rugged mountains of northwestern Iran, where the wind whispers through volcanic canyons, lies a village not built on the rocks, but within them. Welcome to Kandovan, a place where homes aren't constructed, they're sculpted, hollowed out from ancient volcanic ash, hardened over 140,000 years by lava, wind, and rain. From afar, it looks like a surrealist painting. Conical rock towers rise from the earth like stone beehives. But look closer, and you'll see doors, windows, chimneys. People still live here. For centuries, villagers have carved out rooms inside these stone spires. Some homes go several stories deep. Others connect through tunnels like a natural labyrinth. There's no need for insulation. The rock keeps interiors cool in the summer, warm in the winter. Nature, perfected through time. Life here is quiet, slow, and steeped in history. Goats graze on the hills. Children play where lava once flowed. Elders sit on stone steps, telling stories passed down from 1,000 years before. While cities race toward glass towers and concrete grids, Kandovan stands still. A living memory of what it means to dwell with the earth, not over it. And in a world obsessed with building up, Kandovan reminds us, sometimes the deepest homes are the ones carved into the soul of the land. Bouvet Island, the loneliest place on Earth. Somewhere in the icy nothingness of the South Atlantic sits a speck of land so remote, so unreachable, it feels like the edge of the world. Bouvet Island. No one lives here, no one stays here, and almost no one even dares to visit. Discovered in 1739 and still shrouded in mist and myth, Bouvet is considered the most isolated island on the planet. A slab of volcanic rock and glacier floating in a sea of storms, over 1,000 miles from the nearest inhabited land. There are no trees, no birds, no mammals, just howling wind, craggy cliffs, and ice, as far as the eye can see. At just 19 square miles, Bouvet is small, but its silence is vast. Reaching it is nearly impossible. Giant waves pound the coast, icy fog blinds visibility, and even modern ships struggle to dock against its jagged edges. For scientists who make the journey, Bouvet feels less like a destination and more like another planet. Some say time itself seems frozen here. Days blur into nights. The island sits unmoving, untouched, unbothered. It is, in every sense of the word, alone. And yet, in its desolation, Bouvet is oddly beautiful. A reminder that even on this crowded earth, there are still corners that remain wild. Still places that whisper, "You were never meant to stay here, just to know that I exist." Cappadocia, the underground cities of stone and sky. In central Turkey, where the land ripples like waves frozen in stone, there lies a place that seems sculpted by dreams. Cappadocia, a land of fairy chimneys, ancient caves, and cities not just built into rock, but deep beneath it. For centuries, people here didn't just carve homes into soft volcanic stone. They disappeared underground, building entire cities beneath the earth. Rinconada, one of the largest, could house up to 20,000 people, complete with kitchens, wells, churches, wine cellars, even animal stables. These underground labyrinths weren't just for shelter, they were for survival. When enemies invaded or empires clashed, villagers retreated into the rock. There they could live for months, hidden in silence. Ingenious ventilation shafts brought in air. Stone doors sealed off tunnels. Food was stored for emergencies. Above ground, the landscape is no less magical. Cone-shaped rock towers stretch toward the sky, hollowed out into homes, hotels, even places of worship. Summers are scorching. Winters are harsh. But inside the stone, temperatures remain steady and calm, a natural climate control perfected by time. And when the sun sets over Cappadocia and the hot air balloons drift across the horizon, it's easy to forget that beneath your feet lies a whole other world, carved in darkness, shaped by survival, and still echoing with the quiet strength of ancient lives. Greenland, surviving ice and time with the Inuit in Greenland. Winter isn't just a season, it's a test of the human spirit. For over 4,000 years, the Inuit people have called this frozen land home, a place where temperatures dip below -30 degrees Fahrenheit, darkness lasts for months, and the wind howls like a living thing. This is one of the coldest, harshest environments on Earth, and yet, life thrives. Inuit communities survive not in spite of the cold, but with it. Their knowledge of the land is generational. They read the snow. They follow the stars. They know when the ice will shift, when the seals will rise, when the whales will pass. Hunting isn't a sport, it's survival. They hunt whales, seals, and fish, using techniques passed down over centuries. Every part of the animal is used. Nothing is wasted. Clothing is crafted from animal furs, stitched to insulate against winds that would freeze exposed skin in seconds. Homes once carved from snow, igloos, were not just shelter but science, domed architecture that traps heat and blocks the cold. But this is more than survival. It's a culture of quiet strength, of songs sung under stars, of elders teaching wisdom through stories, not screens. In a world chasing comfort and convenience, the Inuit offer something different. A reminder that true resilience doesn't roar, it endures, it adapts, it listens to the land. And in Greenland, where the ice is ancient and the silence is sacred, the Inuit still walk the line between tradition and tomorrow, one snow-covered step at a time. Slab City, the last free place in America. Out in the California desert, beyond the power grid, past the paved roads and cell signal, lies a place that doesn't show up on most maps. A place with no laws, no taxes, and no authorities. They call it Slab City, a makeshift settlement on an abandoned military base, often referred to as the last free place in America. Here, people live in trailers, tents, school buses, and hand-built shacks, all scattered across cracked concrete slabs left behind by the U.S. Marine Corps. There's no water system, no electricity grid, no rent. Just dust, desert, and freedom. The residents are a mix of artists, nomads, veterans, outcasts, and seekers. Some came to escape society. Others were pushed to the margins. But together, they've created something different. A community without structure, and yet full of character. At its center stands Salvation Mountain, a technicolor hill covered in religious messages and handmade art, built by one man with nothing but paint, hay, and a belief in love. Nearby, there's a library built from books no one returned, an art garden made from garbage, a stage where music plays to the desert sky. There are no rules here, and that's both beautiful and messy. Life in Slab City is hard. Summer temperatures hit 120 degrees Fahrenheit. There's crime, there's addiction, there's poverty, but there's also something rare, radical freedom, the kind where no one tells you who to be, what to own, or how to live. In a world shaped by walls and expectations, Slab City is a jagged, dusty reminder that some people still choose to live on the edges. And sometimes, the edge is where you finally breathe. From frozen tundras to cliffside villages, from underground cities to floating art islands, we've seen what it means to call the impossible home. These aren't just strange houses in strange places. They're stories of resilience, of people who didn't wait for comfort, but created life in discomfort, who didn't move away from hardship, but built into it, and who remind us that home isn't made of bricks, square footage, or convenience. It's made of willpower, of community, of roots planted in the unlikeliest soil. In a world chasing upgrades and luxury, these lives whisper something softer, stronger, that the human spirit can bloom in the harshest climates, that beauty exists far from skylines, and that even when the world forgets a place, someone still remembers to live there. So maybe next time you look at your own life, your walls, your city, your everyday, ask yourself not just where you live, but how. Because it's not the house that shapes the story, it's the people inside it.